Happy Valentine's Day.
Hey guys, welcome to an episode of Conscious Straight Talk with Katie and Lindsey.
Hi, I'm Katie Hutchinson. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm also a certified mediator.
And I'm Lindsey, the mama behind MalibuMamaLoves.com, and I'm also a conscious trauma-informed life coach. Mm-hmm. So we want to wish you a very happy Valentine's Day today.
Yes,
and
let's kiss, love you, and
you're so sweet.
You're sweet.
It's a day of love, and we thought we'd go in a little bit of a different direction and talk about something that affects a lot of us, and it's a hard topic, and that's cheating.
We thought instead
Cheating
of doing,
hurts.
yes, it does. Instead of doing the
Cliche.
the cliche love Valentine's Day heart show, that we go in the opposite direction today.
We wanted to make you feel comfortable and understand that, you know what, it's okay. And even when these things do happen, I believe love can heal all of it. And it will be out there again for you. But this is something that many, many, many of us go through, and that's being cheated on or being the cheater.
Yes.
You know, in either direction. And we wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that today. I know you wanted to share your story.
I will share my story.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we were going to kind of this time focus on the signs of cheating. So whether this will make you feel better because you'll feel less alone because we've all been there and recognized these signs, or maybe you're in a relationship right now starting to wonder, this is what you need to be looking for. So stay tuned to this show. This is a good one for you.
Yes.
But you want to share your story.
So I'm going to share my story, and I'm only giving you half of it today. So you have to tune back in for Wednesday, and Wednesdays are always good.
It's such a big topic. I think we'll talk about cheating in relationships for a little while.
For like
a few
months?
episodes.
Okay. So anyways, let's go back to about 2014, November 6th. A little frightening that I can remember the date, but yes. So I was married. I'd been married about 10 years, and I had 3 kids, little kids, 2.5-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 10-year-old.
Okay.
And
that's a lot of little people.
It's a lot of little people in the house. I also was a licensed marriage and family therapist.
Oh, yeah. What age were your kids when you went back to school? You went and got your master's, didn't you?
Yeah. So when my first son was born, I went back to school when my son was about 1 or 1.5 to get my to finish my graduate degree. I'd already done a year. So yeah, I did, and so I'd done a lot. I'd been working the whole time doing these horrible internships, all during the marriage. I also played tennis 5 times a week. That was probably an issue, probably why he started to hate me. You know, I'm not really sure. What do you think? That could be a bit of a deal breaker.
I don't think he hated you at all. I think he had his own issues going on.
Well,
I think
clearly,
he needed to feed his ego. But
clearly. But the 5 times a
I don't
week
think
is
he
probably
hated
not
you.
very healthy, you know. We know he hates me now.
Well, but I think the thing with that is, right, as we were discussing on Friday with the love languages and sort of understanding your partner, what I'm hearing from you is that you guys didn't have that even just 1 or 2 activities that you need to sort of find common ground on and keep that cemented relationship. It sounds a lot like you just
went in different directions and didn't talk about it. And what he was
Which
giving
is
me,
one of the first biggest signs when you do
Yes.
start to lose that connection and start to just go in different directions.
roads.
And it does take people a little bit to notice that.
Right, and when you do go in different directions, you can come back together. And you also, I just want to say, you can get over cheating. I tried to make this work, but I will tell you about that in the second half.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you're at tennis 5 days a week.
tennis 5 days a week, working full-time as a marriage and family therapist. So as a result, I wouldn't get home a lot of the time until 8 or 9 at night. My ex-husband was a gourmet cook. Good for him. I did enjoy that. But he also didn't learn how to clean while he cooked. You know what I mean? Like my grandma taught me that. So I'd come home and the kitchen was like blown up, like just like disaster.
I'm kind of guilty of that too.
You are? Okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to work on that. Anyways, so I would come home. I'm exhausted. I'd seen all these wonderful clients. And I would start cleaning the kitchen. And I would just clean the kitchen. Then I would go into each child's room. They were asleep. And the room was like also a bomb had gone off. Cleaned each room, organized everything. And then I'd go upstairs. And I would get into my pajamas, whatever, get into bed. He would bring me up my drinks, acts of service, wasn't even aware of it, you know. Nurse Ratchet would bring me my drinks.
Yep.
And Nurse Ratchet would turn on my like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or whatever I wanted to watch, and then let me be. Okay.
He was pacifying you. He was setting you up.
He was. Although, for one, he had just turned 40. For 2, he asked me if he could buy a new BMW. For 3,
which is a change in appearance, and that is something that
Oh, you mean the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you want to get, that's
You wanna be
definitely
cool.
a sign.
Yeah, you
When
wanna
you see
be
your
cool.
spouse or your loved one or significant other or partner start buying these new big things and
Right.
getting it.
Right. And he asked me, and I was like, oh, yeah, just go on and buy it, blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah.
I'm not stupid, I swear. Anyways, he started working out, also a sign.
Change of
this,
appearance.
This man doesn't
Yep.
have one muscle in his body.
Yeah.
He started to walk the dog at night.
Change in habits.
He'd never walked the dog at all.
Yep.
He started shutting the door to the bedroom after he'd get me situated, watching my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and go downstairs and watch TV. Well, the watching TV downstairs wasn't a big deal. That was normal. But starting to shut the door was weird. Also, every night I would come home, like I said, and I would start cleaning, like I said. And towards the end, he started saying, you're annoying. Stop cleaning. Stop cleaning. He got mean. Stop cleaning. Go upstairs and go to bed. Blah, blah, blah. And I remember thinking, why is he being so mean to me?
Well, that was his aggravation and his frustration and him wanting to do what he wanted to do, and you were getting in the way of that.
Right. He wanted to go talk to the girlfriend. But I
Yeah.
didn't realize that at the
Yeah.
time. Yes.
Right, because when we're the person that's being cheated on, we're internalizing that. There's something wrong with me. When a lot of times it might have a little bit to do with our actions and how we're drifting apart and their intention to not be there and, respect their vows. But it's that moment where, sorry, you're
It's okay.
following
It's it's that moment when you start to recognize
all these changes in their attitudes, and
Well-
you've got to be like aware of that and
Right.
accepting of that, not
Right.
hiding from it.
Well,
'Cause
I
a lot
was
of
in
us
denial.
hide- a
I
lot
was
of us
in
hide from
denial.
it.
And my
Right.
sister was saying all the time, Katie, your husband is cheating on you. And I would freak out. And I would say,
Yeah.
just because you've had problems in past relationships does not mean that my husband is cheating on me.
Yeah.
Like a total brat.
Mhm.
So, so these are some of the signs. In my opinion, looking back, it was the quintessential midlife crisis.
Yeah.
40 years old, all of that. Okay, so I just have to look at make sure that I'm getting all my stuff.
He was traveling a lot as well, right?
Yes, so all
And
of a
always
sudden,
having delays and weird stuff.
all of a
Yeah,
sudden he
that's
starts
a major
traveling
sign.
all the time, especially to New York. He starts traveling all the
Yeah.
time to New York, and he would call me, and I'm a very trusting wife. I'm not the type that goes through the phone. I'm never the type that checks like the credit card, what are that statements?
I think we get in that mode where we don't feel like we should have to. A
I've
person
never
shouldn't
been.
have
I've
to.
never been like that. I'm
Yeah.
just very
I
trusting,
wasn't
and
either.
it hasn't worked out very well for me. I'm just letting you
Yeah,
know.
well-
Yeah, never check the
Well,
phone.
and I think
like
it's
I said.
something about this area. Well, I mean, I guess this day and age, though, where it's so easy to cheat on people. Like, the dating
Social
sites are
media,
everywhere. Social
yeah.
media, you see a pretty picture of a chick, you can just kind of contact her and say, hey, well, that's not right. That's a form of cheating.
What's the website that got in trouble where you went to the website and it was a dating website, but they knew that you were married? Remember? And then they got caught.
Oh, yeah.
And all the names
Well,
came
no,
out.
but a lot of them are for married people now.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
no joke.
It was,
A
no,
lot
it
of them
was
are
for
for
married people, but
who
they
wanna
got
cheat.
caught. They got caught somebody broke in and then let all the names out. That was a bit of an issue. And then they shut down. I can't remember
Yeah.
the name of
But
that.
that's the point is that it's so easy for these people to cheat now.
Mm-hmm.
And what a lot of us don't realize or understand, even that initial contact, that's inappropriate, that's cheating. Even just
That's
a
looking
conversation
for-
where you're
looking for
looking to build
somebody-
your ego up.
And you're looking for somebody to put on the back burner.
Right.
Yeah, you
And
are.
it's wrong. And us as the people on the other side of that, we need to wake up and be stronger about that and say, whoa, if that's their tendencies, that's not going to change.
That's a bad sign.
That's who they're going to be forever. Right?
Yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm so trusting, and I'm not perfect in the slightest. Like, I'm annoying. I get PMS. It's really bad. Whatever else, but I'm not a cheater. So I'm just was raised to not be a cheater.
You're very loyal.
Yeah, I'm very loyal. So, okay, did he start doing anything else? I just want to make sure. Oh, big thing. We're driving to Easter. I didn't tell about this story. We're driving to Easter, and I'm in the back with the two little kids. My older son, who's 10 at this time, is in the front with my ex-husband. And, well, he was a husband back then. But anyways, look, you're sweet, everybody. Anyways, so we're driving to a dude ranch in Arizona, and all of a sudden the phone rings. And somehow his phone had gone to the whatever happens. And so into the GPS, whatever.
Yeah.
You can see it on the screen. And he hangs up the phone really quickly. And I saw a name. It was like, I don't know,
A woman's
Stacy,
name, just a
Juniper,
female's
whatever.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the person calls back again, hangs up really quickly. So I'm just noticing this from the back, going, okay. So I don't say anything. I wait until we get to the dude ranch. It's nighttime. The kids are asleep. I'm packing up the eggs. And I said, hey, who was that person on the phone? Because you hung up on that, person. And he was like, oh, that's my best friend, Justin. Just making up a name. So I was like, oh, okay, knowing that was such a lie. I then did some digging because, I do have half a brain. Did a little bit of digging to see if this person, the name, worked with him. I could not find this person.
Now, see, in my opinion, in retrospect is always a great thing. But if this situation happens to you, go find that number.
Yeah.
If he can't give you that number out of the phone, and because you can do a reverse search on the phone number and find out who that was.
Well, how do you find the number? You have to ask them to
From
see the
his
phone.
Yeah,
but he was not
he's
giving
your
me
husband.
the phone.
But I'm just saying, he's your husband. You should have that. And if he doesn't, that's a massive red flag problem.
Yes.
Like, hey, baby, who was that called? Can I just see that number?
Yeah. Oh, I never even
Totally
thought
casual
of that.
like that, right? And if he
yeah.
can't show it to you and just be like, oh, babe, no problem. Here, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Then there's an issue.
Oh, and I just thought of something really important. Changing the password on their phone.
Right.
And I didn't even know
changes
the
in
password.
technology.
Yes.
When you start noticing in your relationship that they're either hiding their phone or all of a sudden during the day they're not available for an hour when they always used to be, and it's consistent all the time.
Or they stop calling you. He used to call me like 6
all
times
the
a day.
time, right? When that starts to disappear.
A lot of people's sex disappears.
Sex changes. It can change
changes.
drastically. They'll either want more or less, or start asking for different things to try to push you,
or because they are experiencing
they're
that.
experiencing it. Right.
Yeah.
But I think a change in communication is one of the major things that I really want to stress. Like when you start ignoring each other, when you start avoiding each other, when you start losing the one or two common things that you have to do together, when that starts to go away. Those are all major signs.
Well, and also, like, as he was pulling away, I was pulling forward, going, what's going, you know what I mean? I was moving forward, like, trying to be more loving and stuff.
Yeah.
So, my last one, and this one's awesome. I decided, after my sister kept saying this, and I was in denial and projecting a bunch of stuff onto her, that I was going to check his phone. Because I'd never checked his phone before. And the phone was downstairs. That's where he charged it. And so, I woke up it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and I go downstairs very stealthily. And I'm almost at the bottom stair. He comes running down the stairs naked. Not a pretty sight, just so,
Because he was panicked, right?
I'm sure that he had sweat beads, like, up on his balding head.
That's a sign, a red flag.
Yes. So he runs down, he grabs the phone, and then heads upstairs and gets in the shower. And I was like, this is a bad sign. So while he's in the shower, I'm looking all over the room for the phone. Can't find the phone anywhere. So then I just get into bed, and I just remember seeping, like, at the head of the bed, just, like, with my head on the pillow going, oh, no. So gets out of the shower, gets dressed, blah, 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 putting on his shoes and his socks, and I see him very surreptitiously reach into the middle of the mattresses and pull out his phone. And I really
under the mattress.
That's bad.
Intense.
That's bad. That is a smart one. That's a smart one. Yeah. So.
Well, you could call it smart. I call it shady and lame. Grow up.
Anyways, so on November 6th, I'm wearing a white negligee. I don't know why, because I like sweats and pajamas. I must have run out of my pajamas. Anyways, so I'm wearing this white negligee.
Silk always makes you feel better.
Is that what it was? I don't know. But anyways, it was freezing cold outside, and I decide I'm going to go see what he's doing when he's walking the dog late at night.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. It was a something kind of choice. So I decided to wait until I was walking the dog, and then I very stealthily open the door very quietly, and I see him like a block up. So I'm crouching down, and I almost was to the point where I was crawling. On my bare knees.
In the bushes?
Yeah, with nothing on my feet in like 40-degree weather.
We do.
Yeah. So I
Super
get,
sleuth.
yeah, exactly. So I can hear him. I get to where he is, and I hide behind a bush. And I hear him talking to a girl. I can hear the girl's voice on the other line. And I hear him saying, I can't wait to see you this weekend in New York, honey. I love you. And I can hear the girl go, I love you, on the other end. He hangs up. As he hangs up, I stand up. Sorry.
That's awesome, though. Good for you.
From behind the bush.
Did
And
he tried to play it off, though, I bet, like, that was nobody.
No, I didn't even say anything like that. I just stared. I was like a scary, like, ghost, come here, demon coming out from behind the bush, and stared at him. And I said, you are an effing cheater. Because I don't like any, like, brawls outside. I don't like any public, fighting, this and that. So I walked inside that house. Now, what I should have done, like a normal person, was lock the door, lock all the doors, lock everything, and just locked him outside. Of course, he did have a phone, so he could have called Uber or whatever. But I didn't do that. Left the door open, walked inside, and then the story gets even better. Like Dirty John better.
But we'll do that Wednesday.
Yeah. Or what's her name? Brodovic?
Today we just wanted to focus more on the signs of cheating. Mm-hmm. So that, if you're hanging out and you're doing the Valentine's thing and flying solo, you're not alone.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
Crap happens to all of us.
Yes.
And we wanted to share and say, like, hey, we all get through it somehow. So
yes.
Come hang out and join with us.
So join us.
Give us a comment.
Exactly. Join us on
We're
Wednesday.
you.
You'll hear the second story.
Part of
the cheating part story. Cheating part.
All right, you guys. Happy
Happy
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Have a great day.